All right, guys. Thursday night football, Amazon Prime, and NFL Week 15. Special guest in the building today. Thanks for joining Zach from Indiana. Wearing the Notre Dame hoodie. Welcome on. Good to
Go
have.
Irish. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, good to have him. Funny thing, my manager just got on a plane. Well, he's getting on a plane tomorrow morning. He's heading to South Bend, so life goes full circle.
Yeah, real nice. Too funny. Yeah, I mean, we grew up out there in Indiana. We were both born in Indiana. To get the formal introduction in, but yeah, so grew up in the Hoosier State and definitely know all about it. Now out here in the desert, trying to stay warm, but cold now. So we are out
I
here.
bet.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, frost. We had frost out here this morning. Temps in the 20s. It was kind of crazy.
Dang.
Yeah, that's rare for AZ. Definitely not the coldest. We know it gets real chilly in the Midwest, but out here that's frigid.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, welcome in. Thanks for joining. We had technical difficulties earlier, which is again why we're starting a little bit behind schedule. But no worries, the game is still going on, and we still got the larger slate of games coming up the rest of this weekend. Sorry. So yeah, right now the Niners are up 20-3 on the Seahawks. We've already gone into the third quarter, but who did you guys have coming out on top in this one? We'll start with Zach. Welcome into the show.
Yeah, I mean, definitely roll with the Niners here. I mean, not a big Seahawks fan. Niners, even without Debo, plenty of weapons for whoever their quarterback is I feel like, to get the job done. I think with Bosa coming back too.
That's right.
Defense is tough. They were, preseason prediction or Super Bowl predictions anyway, so maybe a little slow start, but they're coming around in the season for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot about the Debo Samuel injury. That's right.
Yeah, too many weapons on that offense.
I know it's not as bad as people thought. I think he should be back pretty soon, like by the playoffs. But yeah, that's tough. And I honestly, I'll say I was the first to say that. Yeah, I know their defense is great. I just did not expect Brock Purdy to come back and have that consistent of a performance. I was like on the road, San Francisco or in Seattle, division rivalry.
12th man.
Yeah, I was like, just Seahawks close game by a field goal. Doesn't look like that's the case. Mason, what did you see here before we move on?
Well, yeah, definitely the Niners. I mean, 9-win football team, absolutely on fire. And even like you said, without Debo, that does cast a shade on kind of what they were hoping to do. But like you said, a lot of weapons. The McCaffrey trade changed everything. So you just got to get the ball in their hands. And like you said, Brock Purdy continuing to surprise us really all. Really putting on for Arizona. An Arizona native, went to high school here, tore up high school statistics, dominated at Iowa State, but big surprise to see him on this stage.
Yeah, I was not prepared. I mean, last week for one, like I just did not expect Purdy to outplay Brady. Like that was insane. Defense looked great, and then it immediately. I was talking to somebody on Twitter about it. I was like, this immediately looks like that Ravens team. Now you got to start thinking that 2000s Ravens team where Trent Dilfer got a Super Bowl ring because the defense was so good. I'm like, man, does that happen this year? Like, just Brock Purdy because everyone else is out, and they would be wild.
Man. Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs would love to have a word with you after that comparison. I mean, they would be upset, definitely.
Oh, they would, because I still, I mean, I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm shocked that they're up 20-3, right now, and apparently they had the pick six called back. So, or 21-6. It looks like there's a field goal by the Seahawks. So we're moving on to our actually what's really great about this week of football is there's no bye games and we have Saturday football. And we're starting on Saturday with the Colts and the Vikings, 11 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock out there. Well, that's actually in Minnesota. Vikings are 6-1 on the road or at home. Zach, what do you like here? I mean, honestly, Vikings.
I mean, you gotta ride with the Colts for sure, but it's gonna be a tough one.
Right. He's riding with the home team. And fair, I mean, like
They got a chance.
it's a 4-point spread. Bookies are giving the Vikings 4, totals at 48. But like Vikings got to prove it now that that record was something, because man, they do not look impressive as their record is, and I was never bought into the Kirk Cousins hype myself. So Mason, what do you have, Colts and Vikings?
I like the Vikings for sure. I just think they score more points. Probably not a really polished game. I think this could get kind of weird, but Vikings probably eke it out by 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's actually that's exactly what bookies are thinking themselves. I mean, they got that 4-point spread. I think it's fair to say Vikings cover. I mean, I think it's a 1-touchdown game. I don't think the Vikings are good enough to blow this thing out, and I think the Colts can, it's an indoor game, so it's like Colts are used to it. Vikings, yeah, they're coming off that loss to the Lions, but it'll be close. I think it'll be close enough. I'm not super impressed with the Vikings right now, so I think Vikings still cover, but by a touchdown. I'll say Vikings 27-20 over the Colts. That's going to be a fun game to watch. NFL Network, by the way, Saturday, all games, NFL Network. So prepare to log in somehow and watch those. Not everybody going to get those on regular cable. Ravens at Browns becomes our next game, the afternoon games here. Ravens at Browns, division rivalry. Deshaun Watson and the Browns favored by 3. But again, Brett Hundley, I believe, is who we think is going into this game at quarterback. Zach, Ravens and Browns. How do you see this one shaking out?
I mean, I'd love to take the Ravens, but I just not because I'm not sold on Deshaun yet. Second game back, not sure what we're going to get from him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll stick with the Ravens for the Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis. I don't want those guys coming after me.
Right. I mean, Ravens are 9-4, 5-2 on the road, so they're a sturdy team. I could see it happening, but I don't know why the Browns are favored just yet. Maybe I'm only thinking just because of the quarterback issue with the Ravens. But Mason, what do you have here? Ravens on the road, rivalry game, big one. We know the Browns and Ravens are hated rivals.
Well, before Lamar got hurt a couple weeks ago, I remember us talking about this, and I said the Ravens are one of those teams that if you pluck Lamar Jackson from them, they're nowhere to be seen. I mean, that team is irrelevant without him, and now he's gone. So I'm not a firm believer in Deshaun Watson after that long hiatus being away from the field. I don't think immediately. I mean, he's going to get back. There's no question. But it's going to be a process. It's going to take time. The speed of the game, we talk about how fast it is. And to me, Deshaun Watson's worst football is still what Brett Hundley would strive to be associated with. So I think the Ravens drop the ball here, man. Yeah. And the Browns just get this thing done, grind it out.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, yeah.
I'm looking. I don't know. I feel like this is the game where Deshaun Watson gets into the end zone, rushing touchdown. And it's just to get him like back in rhythm with like scoring and being in the NFL. So I like him to get in on a red zone kind of bootleg quarterback sneak type of run. But it's going to be a close game. At 3 is going to be just take the field goal, take the alt spread 2.5. It's a 3-point spread, and the total is 38. A crispy 36 spread, 38 points. So you know.
Hey, real quick though, I want to get you guys both of your thoughts on this because I'm just thinking about it with you talking about this game. Is how much credit? I mean, looking back now, do you feel like you didn't give Michael Vick enough credit for that absence in jail? I mean, he came back looking like a Madden-created 99 player. And then you see Deshaun come back. I mean, Deshaun tried to get out of the pocket and scramble last week, and the D lineman caught him so fast, he looked like the slowest man alive. So, Vic, I don't think I gave enough of credit, but what do you guys think about that, Zach? I mean, in hindsight, what are your thoughts?
I mean, one-of-a-kind athlete. by far. I mean, I grew up watching Vic. Just he was the Madden guy. Was on the cover. We don't care what the play is. Run verticals and just bootleg out with Vic and take off. So I mean, yeah, it's hard comparison, but yeah, definitely impressive. For someone to take off, that long and then to bounce back and still have put up the type of numbers that they were previously.
I don't remember. I know he did finish in the top 3 MVP that year, but it was wild because it was a good 2 seasons or maybe more where he was out.
He was gone.
I mean, and even your receiver there in Arizona, D Hop. I mean, he was out for a while this year, and he's coming back, and he's almost leading the league in
receiving
at this point.
He's a machine, man. Imagine if he would have got to play with Mike Vick. I mean, Vick was smoking cigarettes, reading the Bible in jail, and then just comes out, throws 6 touchdowns against the Redskins. Stop it. I mean, Hopkins would have been all over that. It is a shame they never got to play with each other because, wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things. I think about it all the time. And out here in Arizona, I'm like, it's a shame that the best Larry Fitzgerald got was the back end of Kurt Warner's career for 2 seasons. Because that's a guy that you give him Joe Montana, anybody with an arm, Culpepper, Warren Moon, Steve McNair, you give him anybody, dude would have been top 1 or 2 all time. But he played with bums his whole career. Red Skelton and Jake Plummer with a mullet and
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, he got some bad quarterbacks. Jeff Blake was the quarterback out here after the Bengals at one point. Not good.
Oh, there's a lot of over the hill guys signed in Arizona.
Yeah, I remember
this place is a
Liner.
retirement home.
Rosen.
I think at one point, did you guys have Jimmy Clausen too? I believe maybe not.
They might have signed him off waivers. I mean,
I think they were trying anybody. That's where the fountain of youth was not there.
Derek Anderson was out here.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he go to the Pro Bowl out here though, or was that with
no? He just threw picks. He didn't do jack shit out here.
The Panthers. Yeah. The Cardinals. We got Emmitt Smith at 59 years old after he broke the rushing record.
It's to switch to NBA for one comment. Shaq, when he came here 34, just pointing to that ring in the fucking skybox, only for us to choke to Tim Duncan. All right, we got to move on. I'm going to have him out now. 100%.
NFL Network Saturday. This is the big one, right? Because if you know the backstory and you saw my tweet, to take Bills -7 100 times.
Absolutely.
Hammer it. Look, the Dolphins, they brought out portable heaters to San Francisco when it was 55 degrees on their sideline. It's going to be 32, snow, Buffalo, cold. No, the South Beach boys are going to get slaughtered. Buffalo all day on this one. Total's 44. I would say watch that because it's going to be bad weather, but Buffalo is going to win by more than a touchdown, easily walking away. Zach, what do you think on this one? You're saying hammer?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Bills Mafia -7. Like you said, I don't think even with the Dolphins, being more of a air attack, run Bubbles or run Tyreek in the backfield. But yeah, I don't see any sort of deep balls from Tua getting anywhere with the cold. And I don't know how many heaters are going to have to bring, like you said, but it's not going to work.
Bring the heated turf and the mittens because they're just going to play a zone over the middle and make him play short.
Yeah. And that hurts to say. We got Waddle on the fantasy team, so we wish him the best this week. But it's going to be tough in Buffalo. Week 1 of playoffs too. I'm hurting.
Oh, that's right. Fantasy is coming up. Yeah, it'll be interesting. This is the last week of fantasy. I'm number 2 in my league right now, but I foresee an imminent collapse in the playoffs. We'll see, but
that's usually the way it shakes out. What do you got in this one? Buffalo -7, totals 44, cold 32. And I have an inkling that it's going to be under 30 degrees by the time this game truly gets going.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to touch this game, I would probably do under 44 and a Josh Allen anytime touchdown. I really don't know about the score. I can't put a finger on the spread. I don't know for sure if it's going to be a blowout, but I just feel like what you guys said is true just as far as this is Buffalo's game. I don't think they need to be healthy. They haven't been healthy for a while, but this is a week where they're at home. It's going to be cold as hell. The Dolphins have no idea how to deal with that. Tua Tagovailoa, for as good as a job as he's done, he just didn't battle that in college. Alabama, obviously, much more of a humid climate, so new stuff for him. We hope Tyreek Hill goes out there and balls just for it to be a good game, but I'll take Buffalo to probably get this thing done 31 to, if I had to guess, 31 to 14.
31-14. Like it. Buffalo seems to be the favorite here. Then we have Eagles at Bears as we move into the Sunday slate of games. Philadelphia's got a 9-point spread, 49. Bears have looked bad, honestly. So, Mason, we'll start with you on this one as the Bears fan. Like, what do you see here? Eagles are undefeated on the road. Does it stay that way?
Well, I'm going to let men out there in a little secret. Take your wife's Amex and put 2,000 down on the Eagles minus 13. The Bears don't have a chance, man. This defense is too good. Jalen Hurts has everything at his disposal. And the Chicago Bears really have nothing going for them other than Justin Fields at the quarterback spot in the future. But as it stands right now, with no Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool has been absolutely on and off the injury report and pretty much suspect when he has been out there. So, I just can't figure out a way the Eagles don't win this game by 13 points or more. So, I would, throw some money on that and kick your feet up, plan a trip to Hawaii, man. It's a wrap.
Like it, love it. I think I would have to say the same. I don't trust the Bears in this one. It is going to be cold, a crispy 29. It's slated to be the coldest week. Zach, what do you think? Do the Eagles struggle with that 9-point spread at Soldier Field in the cold?
I don't think so at all. I'm taking the Eagles here. We'll take them. We'll take the minus. You said 9.5.
It's at 9 flat right now.
9.
ESPN.
I'll move that bitch to 13.
Yeah, you say we're bumping it up a little
If you
bit.
want some money, man, it's on the table. I'm telling you right now.
We'll even throw in. I do think that, like we said, with the Bears, only having Justin Fields at their disposal, we'll throw him and Jalen Hurts. We want both quarterbacks to score here. We'll go anytime touchdown in the Eagles minus 10.
Yeah, I like it. Because it's really going to be – Hurts loves to run.
He'll get loose.
Yeah. Falcons and the Saints. This is a game where I think, Saints are just – it's Desmond Ritter, by the way. Going to be playing quarterback, so we get to see Desmond Ritter. Division game. Saints by 4 is the spread, and I'm saying Saints cover that. Cover it and more. I mean, I think Saints have a better defense. And a good defense that Desmond Ritter's not going to have seen so far. So I like the Saints here to cover. Zach, what do you got?
We're going Saints as well. Haven't seen many Falcons game from what I've heard. They're, not doing so hot down there in Atlanta. We're definitely rolling with the Saints here. Gave a buddy advice. He's going to go ahead and start Andy Dalton this week over, I think, Huntley for the Ravens just because we're still unsure about him. So we're hoping Andy has a big day.
Yeah, it would be nice. I don't know if the Falcons are 1-5 on the road, so I would expect Andy Dalton to kick it into gear if he can get some healthy play from the receivers. But Jason, what do you got here in New Orleans? Saints by 4 is what the bookies are saying. Totals at 44.
Yeah, I don't know that I can believe that Andy Dalton is going to line up for a big day, but I do think the Saints win. Desmond Ritter just trying to get in the flow of things. Really bad team. I mean, I feel like Marcus Mariota did a good job of bringing out the best of that offense really just this season. Like, he played better than he ever had. And, with Ritter in, I don't know how much of that's really going to be present Sunday. So
was it that he got pulled or was he injured? Or they just said, we're done with the Mariota?
I don't know. I just know early in the year he played well for sure.
Yeah. Mariota?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they said it was something with his foot, and then they benched him. Then he got the foot X-rays, what they're saying, and now it's a broken foot. He's going to get surgery. But I think even before that, the topic was that he just left the facility with unannounced. Like, just said, all right, well, you're benching me. I'm out of here. So
I figured it had to be something with an injury because I don't. It's too early to just like commit to the Desmond Ritter experiment. I mean, honestly, not really. Like the season's still salvageable in that division. Like the NFC, especially the NFC South, is like wow. I think all of them can still make the playoffs somehow because it's that bad. But yeah, Saints are 3-4 in their division despite being 4-9. So that's like the division to watch. Going to be pretty crazy. Lions and Jets. This is an interesting one because the Jets are favored by 2 points, and it's in New York. I think you say Jets all day on that one. I know the Lions are a popular pick. They're getting hot right now. Dan Campbell and the boys, Hard Knocks. Look, my hair's flying away up here. Damn, I don't know. Just like a little stream going in the wind. Lions at Jets. Zach, what do you got here? 2 points.
Firm believer in that coach there in Detroit. So I'm going to take the Lions. I think the Jets are back to being the same old Jets, man. They had a hot start to the season, but things seem to be kind of falling apart mid-season in. So
yeah, I think the injury, the Brees Hall injury.
Yeah, killer.
I do like Mike White over Zach Wilson. I think that's been good for him, but does the Magic Mike moments go on forever? I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like you said, I think they're back to being the Jets right now. Best case scenario, they just kind of play themselves into a good draft pick and get Mike White reps for next year and hope everybody's healthy. Brees Hall comes back healthy, but yeah, Bills are going to end up taking that division. So, Mason, what do you got on this one?
Well, the NFL's week to week, and as the season went on, Jets just got more injuries, and the Detroit Lions got healthier. They got players back. The Jets lost Quinnen. They lost Brees Hall. Mike White almost died, and then there's some collarbone x-rays. Is it Joe Flacco? I just know they lack continuity. But the Lions, as flawed as they are as a team, have gotten pieces back. They just got back Jameson Williams. Jamal has been in the lineup, and Jared Goff has actually looked pretty good these last couple of weeks. So I'm going to continue to ride the Lions' momentum. I've doubted them a lot on this pod. There's been several times where I was wrong, and then some where I was right. But I think this weekend they get the dub.
And Pat would be proud. Got to say, Pat's been on the pod a few times, but he's a big Lions fan.
He really
could be like Lions could be 7-7 going away out of this game. So that is a turnaround. If you're in Detroit, I mean, people were talking about, do you let Dan Campbell go at some point this season? Now, hey, everyone's on board. The captain has righted the ship. It's big time news. Whoa! And then we got the Steelers at the Panthers. This is another game where it's like Pickett versus Darnold. Boys are just going to be throwing it across the yard in the cold, 45 degrees. Look at the total on this one, 38 points, 37.5. It could be a flip game where, the two teams you don't think you're going to put points up start putting points up. I don't know, but Zach, what do you got on this one? Steelers at Panthers, both teams 5-8. Rookies are giving Carolina 3 points.
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh money line here. I mean, Mike Tomlin. I think the Panthers got Foreman coming back, but I think Pittsburgh. What I'm looking at here is they're 6-1 against the Panthers all time. So I don't see Tomlin letting this one slip away from a sluggish Panthers team this year. He's too good of a coach. He'll have them ready.
Yeah, I usually bet on Mike Tomlin. Anytime he's playing a team with an unproven quarterback or just a shaky team in general, just because of his consistency there. Like when you get any type of chemistry issues on a team, you got a team that's been. And Kenny Pickett, he has skills. He's still in his rookie season. He's got a lot to do, but I do like it. I don't think the Sam Darnold magic is gonna keep rolling here. And Steelers come out on top. I like the money line, Steelers money line. Because it could be a close, nasty one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anytime
come down to a field goal
total, like that's room to be weary right there. Mason, what do you got here? Steelers and the Panthers.
I'll go Pittsburgh as well. The Panthers win last weekend was pretty big over Seattle. But unfortunately, I think that's just because Geno Smith let me down. I don't think the Panthers are turning it around at all. So, course correct this weekend. Steelers probably get it done.
I think we might be seeing what's happening to the Jets happening to the Seahawks maybe with Geno Smith. Like the Magic's just running out. I mean, they talked
Damn.
about contract extension out there in Seattle and all this great stuff, resurging his career, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not so sold now that I've seen the Seahawks start to just fall apart. And then tonight, I mean, they're getting destroyed by Brock Purdy. So, like, what's really going on, you know?
Or get this: what if Brock Purdy is just really good? Like, what if he's going to be a really good quarterback? That's a whole nother wrinkle that we haven't seen play out. Because, like, what that Tom Brady interview with him talking about Mr. Irrelevant. What if that's just the beginning of a villain story and Brock Purdy just turns into fucking a goat? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's so early, but just imagine.
Hey, I remember when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and Tom Brady just stepped in, and the rest is history. He's still here now, generations later. You know, like, man, guy is out there. We're moving on to the next game, Cowboys and Jags. I think this is a trap game, honestly. Cowboys at Jags, and the line's 4. Total's 48, favoring Dallas. I think there's some correction here due for the Cowboys. The Cowboys get brought back to earth, or is the Cowboys defense just too much for Trevor Lawrence? Back. What do you got here? Micah Parsons going to be blitzing Trevor Lawrence a lot.
Yeah, Jacksonville coming off of a big win last week. Long, tough game, but I think the Cowboys, they're just too much for them. AFC South, I've seen it all season long. It's not the best of the best divisions. Cowboys seem to be kind of getting things rolling as the season ends. I think Dak Prescott gets things rolling, and then kind of gets into that postseason form to kind of give them a run through the playoffs. Maybe we'll see, but I think the Cowboys will roll over the Jags here. You said the spread was, what was it again?
They got it at 4 flat, total of 48 right now.
I don't mind the over, but yeah, we'll take just the Cowboys money line. I don't want to mess with the points at all there.
We're at a 59 and slightly cloudy in Jacksonville, and I think I like that over because the Cowboys score a lot and the Jags have been hot. Has been hot. So, Mason, what do you got on this one? Cowboys visiting Jacksonville.
Yeah, I like probably if I had to pick 2 bets here before I go into the game, I'll probably go Dak Prescott 225 passing yards, over 1.5 touchdowns. But then I would turn around and actually take Jags plus 7.5. I think it is a bit of a trap game, like you said. Dallas is coming off that emotional win over the Texans, barely rallied to get that done, and it could be, like you said, a little bit of Shad Khan magic in the building. You take the top off the pool, open a couple margaritas, and you never know, man. I mean, we'll see what's in store for the Jags fan base, but they're going to definitely have to see the Cowboys shoot themselves in the foot more than once to win this football game. So we'll see if that gets into the mix.
I will say one thing and it could just be, hey, shout out to Doug Peterson being much better with Trevor Lawrence than Urban Meyer was, because he looked shaky at the beginning of the year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence to me is still not the best red zone passing quarterback, but he started to turn it around this last couple of games. I mean, we saw the overtime, the 2-point conversion win a couple weeks ago, and then last week. He's going to be a good quarterback. I think his jersey sales are going to go up. That's a guy that, man, he's someone you can rally around and sell jerseys. Great crop of young quarterbacks in the league. You just gotta love it. I mean, I know Brady's still out there, the GOAT, clinging on to the last couple of pieces of yarn of his career, but we got some legends, some young baby legends coming up in the game. So, speaking of that, Jesus, we have our biggest spread of the week, 14 flat. Chiefs at the winless at home Texans. Texans are 0-5 and a tie at home. They're 1-11 and a tie overall. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown. Didn't score last week. Didn't get the cash by parlay because of him last week. So Travis Kelce, all in, all money, all the time. Back, what do you got here?
Yeah, I personally think this is probably the lock of the week. Definitely taking the Chiefs over the Texans. We'll go Mahomes over yards. What's it at? 250.
Yeah, he's always in the 250s, like consistent.
Yeah, always wild. We'll go Kelsey anytime and parlay that with another big week for McKinnon. We're hoping so. Anytime touchdown for McKinnon as well.
McKinnon, he robbed a couple. He robbed the Kelsey TDs from me last week. But hey, when you get hot, you get hot. I really like Pacheco too over there. I think
they've got a couple good backs.
Get in.
That's the thing too with those guys in Andy Reid, man. You just never know. It's pick your poison over there in Kansas City.
Dangerous. Yeah, they can win with 20 seconds on the clock. You give them the ball, and man, don't give them the ball.
People were wondering how they would be without Tyreek.
Yeah, didn't matter. I mean, Juju Smith-Schuster finally started to score. They picked up Tony. He did get hurt, but if he's back for the playoffs and like everybody's playing well, Chiefs to me are the favorites to win this. Even though the Eagles are like doing great, and that would be a fun Super Bowl because the NFC is weak. I mean, unless Brady gets in, like we said, on a backdoor wild card magic, and then magically every offensive lineman is healthy. Julio Jones plays like he did 5 years ago, and the Buccaneers are back in the Super Bowl. That's what. Hey, if they're in the playoffs, put money on Brady. You know it. You've seen it before your entire life. Most people. So,
unfortunately, but yes, you're right.
Out there, we saw Brady just destroying. I've seen kids cry, not go to school, fake sickness. Colts moms in the pink jerseys just weeping. Tom Brady just gutting the franchise.
Foxborough Knights. Yeah, you never wanted to go to Gillette Stadium in the early 2000s, no matter who you were. I mean, that's just a fucking death sentence all around. But yeah, no, I'll take the Chiefs for sure as well. I'm all about some upsets, but I can't get on an upset here just to be trendy. This is not the one. Nope. So big blowout. Not a whole lot to break down here. Just domination.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick question for you guys though, thinking about this is, did Andy Reid just get that much better from now to then, or is Patrick Mahomes just so much better than Donovan McNabb?
I think talent-wise, like you said,
I wouldn't say so much better, but yeah.
Yeah, like Tom Brady to me is so Patrick Mahomes reminds me of LeBron. I've made this comparison before. Like Tom Brady's gonna be your GOAT forever, but skill-wise, Patrick Mahomes is the most skilled quarterback I've ever seen. Dude just does like wizardry with the football. Like it's just weird. I don't know, but Andy Reid, absolute legend. I mean, there's no mistake. You don't get to that many Super Bowls not being a good coach. He knows what he's doing. He's a wizard. That mustache and those cheeseburgers contribute to a lot of W's they have for years. Didn't he coach Vic too, or was that somebody else?
Can't remember. I think he might have still been the coach there during that time. I mean, it was like 2010.
He transcends people. Like there's no doubt.
Yeah, him and McNabb and Vic were there, I think, 1 year together, maybe two max, but they were there together, I think, at one point. He was backing them up, maybe right after what you're saying. The
game against Washington that night.
I think Reid can he's just great coach. He's adapted to how the game's changed and had a great.
Not doing that with Patrick Mahomes, and if Patrick Mahomes like played for the Lions or something, or like just if he got drafted anywhere else, he probably wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes. Like Andy Reid has definitely made an impact on him, and I think he would definitely agree to that. But by the way, next game, if there's a game that you want to skip, if there's a game where you just want to like go have a picnic or do whatever, go to the grocery store, go get wings. The Cardinals go to Mile High to play Russell Wilson and the Broncos.
Abomination of a football game right there.
It does get worse. Russell Wilson's still in concussion protocol. Kyler Murray out. The two worst coaches in the NFL, and yes, you heard that correctly. Two worst coaches in the NFL. Nathaniel Hackett and Cliff Kingsbury. They don't know how to move the rock into the end zone. They don't know how to win games. And the total's at 37. 3 points favoring the Broncos with I don't know.
Who's the backup for us?
Backup
We
is-
got to look that up right now because we need to know.
Yeah,
I want
let's
to
go
know
ahead
who
and-
is
let's
it.
go
Colt
ahead
McCoy versus.
Yeah. From what I know, McCoy's injured too, and like Wilson could
Wait,
come
what?
back. That's Brett Ripien. Brett Ripien.
I don't even know how to say his name, but
Yeah. So it could be him. I mean, it's Russell Wilson's questionable. Like he could get into the game, but he's still in concussion protocol. And I say don't rush him back. Like your season's this bad. Like you should be able to beat the Cardinals with whoever they have. Yeah, for the Cardinals, it's either going to be. Let me just check the depth chart. So Colt McCoy is also questionable. So it's going to be Trace McSorley and Brett Ripien. Hammer the under for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Man, God, good Lord.
Depth of the game we want to skip, but
Yeah, what do you got, Zach?
I mean, we'll still let's see. We'll roll with the Broncos at home. I mean, you got to with a game like this, you got to be able to defend the home turf, no matter how bad the season's going. Desperately need to win. Both these teams desperately need to show the fan base that the coaches can coach. But I think, like you said, you've written off your Cardinals. I got a buddy here that's big time Broncos fan, and he's definitely saying the same thing you are. Hates the coach.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to the Let's Ride with Russ as of this year. So, but I think the Broncos can get a win at home.
Yeah, they're eliminated with 10 losses on the season at 3-10. I think simply just the weather. It's going to be 33 degrees, and the oxygen levels obviously at mile high. That's enough. Like they're both two really bad teams. That's enough to sway the Cards. A little bit of noise from the crowd. It's cold. Arizona's not used to 33-degree weather all the time, and like there you have it. Broncos should win by 3. I mean, I'm gonna drop it down to that 2.5 just because if you pick them by a field goal, you might not win, and it's gonna push your sheet and take your losses. But yeah, bad game. Did we get to you on this one?
No. I was gonna say, yeah, I agree. The under. Definitely love the under. And it should be a really sparse crowd in Denver. I mean, 33 degrees. I just can't see the city of Denver just smoking weed and saying, let's go to the Cardinals-Broncos game. I mean, this is an apathetic city at this point. So tough day to be a season ticket salesman. If you're pounding the phone, sending out templates for next year, it's lower your expectations. It's gonna be tough.
You got to think it's just like, hey, we could just like watch the game on the couch and be warm. And this, like, yeah, you just don't. Not a game you go to once you're eliminated from the playoffs. Like, I don't think, like, there's players on the team that aren't even bought into Russell Wilson. So,
I think they do have they got Gregory back though, so defense should look a little better. But I don't, like you said, at this point, no, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact, Zach. I mean, Carrington knows this. Probably mentioned it once. You don't know. But I actually sat next to Randy Gregory for a full semester in high school in computer apps class. And he did about as much work as me. Absolutely nothing in that class. Both of us just really setting the bar in hell. A shame. He clearly went on to make millions, and I did not. But just a funny story.
You should have been the one to get him through the class, man.
Oh, he clearly got through the class and straight to the quarterback. So good for him.
Right there
around. Hell of a pass rusher when he's on the field. So,
yeah, that is. Yeah, he is going to be back for that, and that's if you're Trace McSorley, you don't want to see that. He was getting a lot of pressures before he got injured. He was one of the best defensive ends this season, actually. Patriots and Raiders, another game of like, hey, the Patriots have turned it around. They're 7-6. Patriots are 7-6 now. Darth Belichick and the boys going into Sin City, and it's a 1-point spread. 45. Patriots are kind of clicking a little bit, right? Like Mac Jones is back from the ankle injury, starting to let it rip a little bit down the field. But I don't know. Like, I just don't trust the Patriots defensive backs to slow down Devontae Adams enough in this game. And I'm taking the Raiders to win this game, cover the spread of 1 point. Zach, what do you got on this one? Bookie at 1. 1 point spread, 45 total.
Oh, yeah, we'll take the Raiders points. I think exactly the reasons you said. I don't think, Belichick or not, I don't think their DBs have enough answers for Devontae. Really didn't have much of an answer for D Hop yesterday or last week anyway. So just another matchup that they're not looking forward to. So I think the Raiders get it done. They're also a little streaky, but being at home and Devontae, I feel like kind of getting things going. Him and Derek Carr finally clicking, I think. So I think they have another big game.
I do like one thing I do remember taking on my anytime sheet because I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Devontae is the Mac Hollins touchdown. Like Mac Hollins to score just because they'll probably use Devontae to get down the field, but Mac Hollins is a nice possession receiver in the red zone, so they could throw it up to him. Like that a little bit as an underrated touchdown time. Mason, what do you got? Belichick, Patriots 7-6, 4-3 on the road at the 5-8 Raiders.
I actually have the Patriots here. I have been pretty down on the Raiders overall this year, and their pass protection has been a main concern. I think they've gotten away with it the past couple weeks, but we've seen plenty of games this year where the where the Raiders' offensive line was completely hampered by pedestrian defenses, and the New England Patriots are going to have a chance to do that again this weekend. I think if Bill can find a way to chew up the clock, manage the game, just kind of keep Mac in good positions without turning the ball over, they can beat Oakland. Or look at that, Las Vegas. They can beat Las Vegas. So, we'll see what happens. But I'll take the Patriots money line.
Biggest Raiders, Patriots money line. Yeah, it's a money line game. There's no point to tamper with that spread. Obviously, if someone wins, they got to win the game by 1 point, and if they win by 1, you don't win. So take the money line. Yeah, that's honestly a toss-up game, and if you want to stay away from a game, that could be one to stay away from, including this next one. Titans at Chargers, 3-point spread. Both teams are 7-6. Both teams really fighting for playoff seed positioning and to break out of that wild card area and really just make it into the playoffs. But what do you guys like here? Because I think the Chargers are getting hot right now, and I think the Titans are fading. Bookies are saying Chargers by 3, totals at 47 points. Zach, what do you like for this one?
Yeah, we'll take Chargers. Like you said, I think they're getting hot. Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert, kind of getting their little groove together, getting some chemistry going. Chargers last week, as we were saying, just a bunch of red zone mishaps that maybe shouldn't have happened against the Dolphins. So I think they cleaned that up a little bit, and just too much offense for the Titans this week. Titans, unless they can slow the game down with Derrick Henry, but I don't see much of that happening with the way Justin Herbert's been playing and kind of got that chip on his shoulder still. I feel like that he's wanting to prove himself.
Yeah, that's a team too, by the way. Like if they get into the playoffs and Keenan Allen's healthy and they're in rhythm and Austin Eckler's rolling, that's a team you just don't want to face.
Mike Williams is coming along.
Yeah, that's a team you don't want to face because they're like sneaky under the radar good. I remember beginning of the season, take us way back. Me and Mason were talking about the Chargers, like, hey, they might like come atop the division or like be right there. We're like, this would be the best division in football. We expected the Broncos to be better.
We were so wrong about that.
Yeah, that's the worst division. Part. Yeah, it was
it came in looking like they were going to do something, and then no, not at all. So yeah, that was Mason. What do you got? Titans, Chargers, 3-point spread. Chargers favored by the bookie.
I'm actually going to go with the Titans. I think they upset LA. The Titans just looked like absolutely hopeless last week, and I think that's going to hit home. I think there was some soul searching in that locker room. Mike Vrabel, not going to let that stand. And if there's one thing I've learned late in the season, especially last year, the Chargers have let me down, and I think I'm a little bit leery. I don't want to get on that boat, so I'm going to go with Tennessee to get this done, and I'll take probably. If I was betting on it, I'd take Tennessee +4.
Tennessee +4. So yeah, it's sitting at 3 now. Just on the count of how teams are playing, I mean, I think the Titans are a well-coached team. I think they are still a good team. But I just think the Chargers are getting hotter right now. I like what their offense is doing, moving the ball down the field. So I think Chargers win this one. I'm going to take Chargers by the field goal, the 2.5. I never take the 3. I've been burned by that field goal too many times. So always go alt spread 2.5 there in those like weird questionable games. And even then, you lose them by 1 point or tie games. We've had like 2 tie games this season, maybe 3. I think just 2, but it could be 3. It's been some competitive games here. So Chargers for me on this one. This next game is very big, and I feel like a lot of America is going to be watching it. Bengals at Buccaneers. Bengals at Buccaneers. And in theory, Bengals should blow out the Buccaneers, who look like they're slipping, and the Bengals are getting hot. Bookies are only saying 4 points for the Bengals. Totals at 44. And the weather's going to be 68. 68, best weather for probably any game this week. So got to think that might favor Brady and the boys a little bit. But the bookies are saying 4 because, hey, Buccaneers have not been able to score. It's been sad. So, Dak, what do you got? Bengals 9-4 at the 6-7 Buccaneers.
Let's go. We'll go Bucks. Like you said, never doubt Brady, as much as it hurts to say, but I think he's got his guys ready if they are gonna, make a ride to kind of hopefully win the division. If they still have a chance and get into the playoffs, now's the time to lock down and get it done. As any time I bet on the Bengals game, if so, any time for Jamar Chase, take his over in yardage as well. And then I think it's that running back Rachaad White will go anytime touchdown for him as well. Fantasy bias.
Yep. Gotta love it. No, honestly, I do not believe Jamar Chase has scored since coming back from that injury. So since then, I think every week I'm picking him to score. There's a couple guys I'm doing that with the Buffalo. Dawson Knox just hasn't gotten in the end zone for a while. Guys that are overdue, I always do a little bit, just do it. But yeah, that to me is pretty consistent. So I like that. And then like you said, Brady, it's got to be a big one game. It's going to be a statement game, if anything. Like, hey, beat the Bengals, prove that they're even a good team still. But Mason, what do you got? Buccaneers hosting the Bengals at 4 point spread, moving the Bengals.
Honestly, like the last couple of times I picked the Buccaneers and bounced back just because Brady's on their team. I just was wrong and felt stupid. So I'm going to go with the Bengals. Better team, more weapons, younger quarterback. Starting to worry about Brady's physical state. I mean, his cheekbones are so crafted thin. He looks like he sells commercial art studio spaces in New York. That's not the guy I grew up watching. They need to either start feeding him something or just get him off the field because that whole offense just looks sketched out right now. I like Bengals minus 2.5.
Yeah, no, he needs to get on that Joe Rogan diet, that elk steak and alpha brain or whatever.
Those Liver King steroids at this point, just Tom Brady, eat a deer heart. Something, man. Get this offense rolling.
We always talk about this, but remember the big conspiracy when Lewis came back comparing his triceps with the deer antler spray and maybe won the Super Bowl. I'm like, man, it was like one of the biggest swept under the rug. Like, oh yeah, he tore his triceps. Like, wait, he went to the secret lab in South Beach with LeBron and flew out, and they just sprayed some deer antler spray on his arms, and he came back with a bionic arm and a visor and Super Bowl, and they won against Kaepernick. Just good times in the NFL.
Where was that spray when Booker pulled his hamstring against the Bucks in the finals? Pull it out, kill another deer if you have to.
And what's so funny is you can now buy it. GNC sells it legally. Just deer antler spray. Yeah, you have to look it up. End up pulling your hammy at work or anything, get some deer antler spray. But yeah, no, I'm with you. It's not looking good for Brady. It's a must win, and I just I'm riding on the success stories. I just want to see him go out on top. As much as I hated the guy growing up because he would just destroy the Colts. Same thing. It was the same thing with Kobe and Tim Duncan. After year 7, you're just they're just really fucking good. Like, just appreciate greatness while they're here because, like, damn, it doesn't matter. Your team's getting smoked, and then here we are 20 years later. He's still throwing the rock all over the place. So, like, it's hard for me to not root for him. And they got to. Like, if you want to win that division, don't let the Falcons or the Saints or the Panthers, God's sake, get into the playoffs. Like, everyone, it'll be a lot. Matter of fact, it won't even happen because the league will not let Tom Brady miss the playoffs. Put money on that, on every bookie.
Yeah,
Brady to the
especially if it's the
playoffs.
farewell tour. He's sticking
Yeah,
around.
like, and I mean, it could be. Is it the farewell tour? Does he go to the Bay? Does he just like become a coach? Back to New England. There's so much drama around it. So, our Sunday night game is another nasty game. It's that rivalry. 7-5 Giants, 7-5 Commanders. These games are always low scoring, and they're always decided by a field goal, which kind of surprises me that they're giving the Commanders 5 points. 5 points to the Commanders, and the total's at 41. Taylor Heineke and the Commanders, Daniel Jones and the Giants. Zach, what do you got this one here? Division rivalry, 37, cold, crispy game.
I like the Commanders here. Given the points, they're even at home. Yeah, we're rolling with T-Mac, Terry McLaurin, Cathedral native, Indiana boy. Put up some points for the home team.
Nice.
Rolling with the homer.
See, I really like McLaurin. He's another guy though that every time I bet on him to score,
Yeah.
I'm like, this year, like he's only at 3 touchdowns. I'm like, man, I thought dude would have like 7 or 8 this year at least right now. And but hey, Saquon Barkley does the same thing. I like the Commanders. Commanders by a field goal. Mason, what do you got on this one? Giants at Commanders.
Probably take Commanders -2.5. I think the Giants are going in the opposite direction. They lost a lot of key pieces. Eventually, the health caught up to them. I don't think as early as I thought it would when the season started. I kind of predicted they would lose earlier, but they held the fort down. But those injuries are starting to creep up, in my opinion, and it's a big part of why they've lost a lot of their last 4 or 5 games. Taylor Heineke should absolutely have a better game than Daniel Jones at home here, and I'll be keeping an eye on it. So I'll go Antonio Gibson anytime touchdown.
What's up with Chase Young? Is he playing? Is he hurt? Like,
I think they said he should be back, or at least practice.
I know they were like easing him back in, which is good. I mean, you don't have that good of a player that young in his career get hurt and then rush him back. You definitely don't want that. But that's game changer. Like Daniel Jones running all over the place, throwing across his body if Chase Young's out there, and Commanders might well cover that. Yeah, I don't know. I think Mason was right. Giants are just fading. I mean, I like the Commanders at home. Like Zach said, they're just going to be that Heineke-McLaurin connection is pretty strong. Once they made the change there, McLaurin's looked like that Pro Bowler that he is. So, oh wow, we were totally wrong about the coldest game because the Monday night game at Lambeau is 24 degrees, and it's the Hollywood Rams with backup
Hollywood, nothing.
Baker Mayfield, and I don't think Baker is going to repeat that magic. I think Packers cover, even though it's at 7. Packers are bad, yes, but now you got Baker, second week with a new team. It's cold. It's not in that nice stadium. And Aaron Rodgers is probably not going to try to lose to Baker Mayfield and the 4-9 Rams at home on what could potentially be the last year of his career. Zach, what do you got here? 7 points for the bookies and 40 is the total.
Yeah, we're going Packers here. I'll probably just take the money line. Not going to mess with the points at all. I don't know do they know if Aaron Donald's playing?
Oh, I did. So I saw Aaron Donald is questionable.
I was trying to look it up. Yeah,
I saw he was questionable a couple of days ago when I was doing.
Even if so, I think I like the Packers at home. Rams been inconsistent all year. Maybe a little fluke by Baker flying in 2 days before game day and having a big 198-yard drive there to cap off that game last week. So I don't think he gets it done twice in a row. especially against a vet going against, like we said, just like Brady can never really count out Rodgers. So
Yeah, not Rodgers.
hopefully he gets it done there at Lambeau.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, if it's this cold of a game, this could be a hey, go for Aaron Jones to have like 2 touchdowns or like the running backs to get in the end zone because 24 degrees is cold. I'll try to get this one out. But Mason, what do you see on this one? Rams 1-4 on the road, but that Baker Mayfield in the building, suited up, ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I really think he did do a good job last weekend. Really limited time to get into that playbook. Must admit, a nice storybook flight with Sean McVay, just looking at that iPad, the way they won somehow. So, high expectations, I think, for the Rams coaching staff coming into this game, but just too much really for I think Baker to chew. I mean, they've got to show up, they got to fight, but it's cold. Rodgers is all around just a better quarterback. He's going to make his lesser players look good, and I think Baker's going to struggle to kind of keep them on the right pace. So. Probably an ugly, mucked up game. Packers 24, LA 13.
24-13. That would barely hit the under. 24-13. Under our totals at 40 points there on that. Yeah, I mean, I like the Packers here, no doubt about it. I think it's going to be a bigger running game. I know Aaron Jones only has 2 touchdowns on the year, but I'm kind of wanting to lean on that Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns. I feel like a small little sprinkle right there might just do it. And then Aaron Rodgers, like Zach said, you don't bet on that guy at home when he's just up against the wall. And let Baker Mayfield come in and really become this all of a sudden Hollywood story, like this Mickey Mouse legend that just goes in and wins games on the big stage. You don't want that as Aaron Rodgers. So Packers, I think we're all in agreement there. Packers all day. We will close out with our locks. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah, no, quick question. So I was watching another podcast the last couple of days, and one of the guys on there mentioned just see what your guys' opinion on it. So they think McVay scooped up Baker just so the Niners couldn't grab him to kind of block him from being in the division and kind of hurting the Rams later on. So not sure what you guys think, if McVay's got that in him, or if what your take on was that, or like you guys were saying earlier, do the Niners even need him? Is Purdy the next GOAT?
Yeah, God, people are hype on Purdy. Like, the numbers don't lie. Let me just scroll back up and refresh his stats for today's game because I want to see what his passing percentage is at. Like, I mean, okay, it's still 20.
There's a big run by Kenny Walker. We needed that.
Yeah, it's still 21-6, they're saying.
Yep, 21-6. We got about 4 minutes left, 3:40 left in the fourth.
Yeah, I mean, Purdy's 17-26, 217 and 2 touchdowns. Like, he's out there doing it. I mean, he's holding his own. Or 21-12 is what they're showing now on ESPN. I'm behind with the track.
Yeah, I'm behind for sure. Then they must Seahawks must get in right here.
Yeah, I refreshed and they had the football in the red zone. I was like, oh.
Yeah, Noah Fant touchdown is what it was. Yep.
See, that's one of those guys you're like, man, you bet on somebody else and then it's
he's on my fantasy team. Let's go.
There we go.
Let's go.
He's in the playoffs. Are you? Have you started it? Is it your playoff round?
No, it's last week.
This is the last week. Yeah, I'm 9-5. What's your record in fantasy?
10-3.
Nice.
10-3 in one league, and then I forget what the other league I'm in. I think I'm around like 9-5 maybe. Yeah, we had 2 finished second though. The roommate actually is 1 overall, so I got no bragging rights in the house.
Yeah.
Be tough.
I was gonna say my coworker is literally just 14-0. Has Patrick Mahomes on his fantasy team and like so many teams, and so I'm like, 9-5 is nothing. In that 2 spot, I'm like, I don't even bring up fantasy at work.
Yeah, we actually went 2 quarterback league this year, first time. So I went back to back and grabbed Mahomes and Rodgers. So Mahomes has definitely been carrying the squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wrap up our week here with our picks, our locks for the week. I know you said the Chiefs for you, Zach, is going to be
absolutely.
That's kind of like our obvious lock.
No brainer. Yeah, it's the no brainer bet.
Our lock and our upset. But yeah, what do you have for your upset of the week, Zach?
We'll go with the homers. We'll go with the Colts over who do we got this week? Oh, Colts over Vikings.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. Yeah, I mean, hey, that might be one of the safer ones
Yep.
to say. I like it. I mean, it's fair to say. Mason, what do you got for your lock and upset of the week?
Lock of the week, Philly cheesesteak special. Eagles rolling hard. Upset is going to be the Patriots. Mac Jones coming in. James Betchner pencil in the ear. Get it ready.
Yeah, Vegas by 1 there is what the bookies are saying. That's a big 50-50 game for me. I'm going to go my upset of the week down there in Jacksonville. Shad Khan, Trevor Lawrence, and the Shades, the Jaguars, going to pull it out. A crazy, magical game. I'm going to say Trevor Lawrence keeps it rolling. We get to see a little more Jacksonville magic, and the Jaguars slow the Cowboys down for 1 week, get a little magic in the air. And my lock of the week, I'm going to go ahead and take the Buccaneers. Going to go out on the limb. Tom Brady and the boys. Look, they got to get the win, and they'll pull it out. They're 4-3 at home, 6-7. They'll get back to 500, beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals, 9-4 on the road. Division play puts them pretty solid in the lead for the division and wraps up that guarantee. You know, Goodell's got some rigged games up his sleeve somewhere. What better than a CBS game in the afternoon with Joe Burrow against Tom Brady? A lot of eyes on it. Have some magic going. So I like those two. I haven't at this point. I don't place my bets until usually late Saturday or Sunday morning. Just because of the injuries and questionables and different stuff like that. But give us your guys' big bet of the week, whether it's a parlay or a straight bet. What do you got, Zach?
I honestly, I haven't even looked that big into it. I mean, I've got the in games, put like 3 legs parlays, but nothing major as of yet. Like you said, I'll probably wait till late Friday, look into it for those Saturday games. But who knows? I think it'll probably be in that Chiefs game. I think there's a lot of overs and a lot of touchdowns to be grabbed in that game. So we'll probably look at that first and see what we can add up.
See what Travis Kelce and them start doing. Look for the multi touchdowns.
The multi, probably 3+ for Trav this week.
Yeah.
Oof.
Mason, what do you got? Big bets? Any parlays cooking up or?
Nothing in the oven. I mean, in theory, like I said, I would ride Philly -13. I love a Josh Allen anytime touchdown. Any other big bets I would think of? Travis Kelce first touchdown seems appetizing. I mean, if you put it on a plate in front of me, I'm probably eating. So we'll see.
Or even that Chiefs defense to take a touchdown.
Definitely.
I had that in a parlay last week. It was close, but I think it was either called back or they didn't end up scoring on it.
Playing quarterback for the Texans. Is it still Davis Mills or they moved on?
Thought they yanked him a week or two ago.
Oh, wait. Jeff Driscoll.
Damn, he's worse than Davis Mills. Put Davis Mills back in. That is a backwards choice.
Driscoll, active part of QB duo, questionable. They don't even know who's going to be their quarterback as of yet.
He didn't even look good in college. Like, I remember watching Jeff Driscoll his entire up and down career at Florida, and it was just him just looking really confused all the time. And there was like 5-star athletes. There's just no excuse when you play at Florida to look that confused. I mean, yeah, don't get that.
Yeah, some big stuff out there, but we're excited, guys. Like we said, no bye weeks, Saturday football. Got the game wrapping up here tonight. So, Zach, thanks for joining.
Yeah, fellas, appreciate it.
Yep, we'll talk to you next time.
Mason. Been great having you. Yep, everybody have a good night.
NFL, damn, NFL week 15.
Got tuberculosis.
Yeah,
what was that?
Man, what's going on? Had that sickness. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, guys, NFL week 15.
20 degrees in Arizona will get you.
Yeah.
You got that bronchitis now. Get a blanket.
Frosty out here. I got to get my robe going. So,
it's
yeah, guys, everybody have a good night. Thanks for joining. Fun times to wait. Stop by the website. Got some nice articles cooking up there. We'll have the videos up soon, and we'll watch some football and talk to you guys soon. So have a good night, everybody.
Yep. Take care.
Appreciate it. Thanks, fellas.
Yep.